Hey Tomasz, welcome to our session. Hope you're doing fine today.
Hi Tobias, I'm doing fine. Hope the same for you. Let's also welcome the audience out there. Thank you for being with us and taking the time. But I would say let's get started with the session.
Absolutely. So today we wanted to talk about how generative AI impacts document processing. But before we dive into the session, Tomasz, I noticed you brought something that our viewers might not see. So maybe you want to share what you have there.
I have this beautiful pile of paperwork for us today.
Nice.
And you wonder probably why I brought it.
Indeed. So go ahead.
I want to show to the audience the amount of manual work that is being performed in the departments in their companies day in, day out. So what you can see here are different document types from various departments, such as logistics, HR, finance, procurement, you name it.
Okay, I mean, that's impressive. And just judging if that's from one company, that most likely means a ton of manual work, because I cannot even imagine how much work it would mean to type that in. So that most likely also results in quite high costs, right?
In fact, if you look at the statistics for companies, processing a single document can cost up to 10 euros or even more for specialized use cases.
Okay, so 10 euros, you say?
10 euros, yeah.
And that would be, I guess, like one page, one document, 10 euros. So, I mean, I'm bad at estimating, but that must be hundreds of documents. So we're talking about thousands of euros that we have in front of us here, right?
So what I have here is 400 documents, which amounts up to 4,000 euros of operational costs laying around on this single desk in this studio.
Impressive on a negative way. But I have good news for you. So our document information extraction service already processed way more than these 400 documents since we started talking in this session.
Wow, tell me more.
Yeah, so recently we looked into the statistics, and our 24,000 live and active customers typically process an amount of documents that, if you would pile up just like you did here, would result in a Mount Everest mountain of documents per quarter. So per quarter, we process one Mount Everest in documents.
Mount Everest, you say? I'm getting dizzy from the altitude, but I think the customers, they are saving a Mount Everest of money with the service. But stop talking, let's start doing. I think you promised to show us some fancy, cool, new Gen AI-enabled features in our product.
Exactly. So I promised you, Tomasz, that I can process any kind of document in this pile today without any kind of training, and I can show you in the remaining time of the session. So in a few minutes, I can show you how you can do it on your own.
Yeah, then keep the promise, because we are under pressure.
I'll do my best. So maybe I'll open up the application, and in the meantime, you can look for a nice sample document that you want to try out.
Yeah, I would say let's start from the top. I have here a nice pile of logistics documents. Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
So
sure.
It's a lovely delivery note that I have here.
Okay, maybe you just take a picture and send it over.
I will.
In the meantime, we here in the browser have our document information extraction web application. So that's the web front end to access our service. The first screen here is for uploading documents. But before we upload a document, I think we should first tell the system what exactly we want to do with the document.
It's underway, by the way.
Okay, yeah. In the meantime, I open our schema configuration. So a schema is kind of the instruction to tell you what to do with the document, right? So you said it's a delivery note document, right?
Correct.
So I create a new schema and call it delivery note. And here we have an empty list of header and line item fields. And this represents the data structure of your document. So let's open up the document you sent me over. So that should be the image you took here, right?
Correct.
So let's have a look at it. I'm not an expert in logistics. Maybe you want to tell me what kind of information you're interested in.
Yeah, definitely. So we will need the delivery note number, and we also need the reference, which is in this case purchase order, because you want to map it to the consignment order, for example, in the SAP transportation management system. And I guess we can also go for the dates.
Dates, you say, so multiple ones. Yeah, we have one in the bottom, top, and then we have this handwritten one.
You are good.
Okay, let's go for that. I'll start typing. So you said delivery note number.
Number, correct.
Note number. It's of type string. setup type auto. So what I do here is I just tell the system, extract me a field that is called delivery node number and that has the data type string. So data type just means what kind of data do you want to extract. And a setup type, you can choose between auto and manual. What do you want to go for?
Of course, auto. We don't want to hear anything about manual anymore.
Okay, sure. Then let's go for that. And then you said, I think, purchase order number, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm lazy, so I do PO number. And then we have 2 dates. We need to somehow differentiate the dates. So
correct.
You're the expert?
Yeah, so the first one is the creation date, right? So when the document got created. And the second one is obviously the delivery date when the goods got delivered.
Okay, that's where the person signs then that the delivery
exactly,
was.
here.
Okay. Delivery date. So, I think now we're ready, right? 4 nice header fields to extract.
Yeah, but this is a delivery node, so we need to know also what got delivered. And I see that you also can extract tables, don't you?
We can, but I thought we keep it easy for the first example.
Go for the line items as well.
If you want to do so, it's the exact same principle. You type in a field name, a data type, a setup type. So, what do you want to extract?
Yeah, so let's go for the goods first. So I think we need the material number.
Oh, okay, material number, yeah.
Then the quantity, because you want to know how much got delivered.
Okay, from each of these material number, whatever items.
Exactly.
And that would be a numeric value, I guess.
And then what goes with quantity?
I mean, my math teacher always said you need a unit, right?
Exactly, the unit of measurement.
Then let's go for a unit. But now I have enough, so I will just activate it. And we'll show you how we can process your lovely document now.
Okay.
So what I do is I go back to our document upload screen. I select the newly created delivery node schema. I'll move the document over there. And yeah, that's where I typically face most of the issues. It's not in telling the system what to do, but in the human part of uploading a document.
I hope that's the only manual part that you have to do here.
Yeah, I mean, you can also avoid it by uploading it to the API, but I think for demo purposes, it's much nicer to see what we're doing.
Definitely.
So what I did now is I took the picture you sent me, I uploaded it to the system with the schema instruction. And behind the scenes, we'll now first extract the text from the document, and then we use our large language models plus specialized AI to extract exactly what you wanted to have.
And all this magic happened in while we were waiting.
While we were talking, yeah.
Amazing.
And you see the document changed to status ready. Let's open it. And you can see the extraction results. And
nice.
Maybe you want to tell me if this is correct or not.
Yeah, let's start with the dates maybe for the first, right? So I see the creation date is correct, and also the delivery date. And we don't see the explanation of the dates on the document, right? So the model was smart enough to pick up the right date. That's amazing. And the one in the bottom is handwritten, so it can recognize handwriting as well.
Yes.
Nice. And line items, I see everything fits. That's good.
Okay, so did I convince you? So we can go home?
Yeah, it was okay, but it's a straightforward standard business.
Come on, you choose the example.
It's in English, right? It should be bread and butter. I think we can go for something more, right? What do you think?
Okay, then I give you one more try. But challenge me.
Okay, let's go for HR. I have this sweet birth certificate in Chinese.
Okay, I mean, I cannot read any Chinese, so I have to trust you on the birth certificate part, but if you think that's challenging, then send me a picture.
I won't make it that easy for you. Let's raise the bar. What do you think now?
I think you're kind of crazy, but maybe you want to spill over some water.
Maybe next time.
Okay, good. Okay. Then at least try to take a good picture to make it fair, right? And in the meantime, I'm doing the exact same steps. I'm creating a new schema. And you said birth certificate, right?
That's correct.
Okay, let's go for a birth certificate.
Okay, it's underway.
So, I mean, I'm smart enough to know that there should be a name on a birth certificate.
Obviously.
So, string, auto. What else do you want? Maybe 2 more fields or so? 2 more fields?
Birth date, I guess that would be
quite
sense, interesting.
Yeah. So we have a date here. And I see there's some number that even I can read. So
yeah, that's the R number. I guess that's going to be the registration number.
Okay. No, I don't know how to type in registration. Okay, I think we need to speed up a bit. So let's upload it like this. So again, I click the plus button. I select custom. I select our birth certificate. I just noticed that I have a typo there, but that shouldn't matter to the system. I once again confirm, upload it to the system, and you actually might notice an additional step that we haven't seen that clearly before. So in our service, we also try to correct images that are taken at a wrong angle or a bit skewed. So we have a process for deskewing that. So you might notice that the image looks a bit better. I
did that intentionally. Let's see now.
Yeah, let's see. So we have the document.
Great.
And I mean, you could have really done a better job with the lighting, so I have a hard time reading it.
That's not my fault here. We are in the studio here.
Okay. Luckily, we can see that there are 3 values extracted. And what about your Chinese? Can you validate what we do here?
I mean, the numbers seems to be correct. That we can, I think, recognize. But for the name, I guess we can also ask the audience. So if there's anybody who understands Chinese, please maybe chat this in the chat and then confirm it. And otherwise, please also paste your questions. We will take them later on.
Okay. And I think at least if I visually compare, the name should be the box here, the first one. Makes sense to me that this should be the first thing.
Okay, that was pretty impressive.
So I believe with that you're finally convinced, but actually I thought the session would go differently. So I prepared an actually quite simple example, and since you seem to be super interested in HR, it's an HR example.
I am.
So I have this nice PDF document. It's a resume, 2 pages, and I want to show you one particular thing because you've already noticed kind of the high-level stuff that we've seen in the previous examples. So in this resume schema here, I prepared some additional features. If you look at the line item part, we here try to extract the table of skills. And you might notice that in the resume, there's not a clear table, but we ask the system to extract all the skills in form of a table with 2 columns. First, the name of the skill, and then kind of the type of the skill. Again, type is nothing that would be there in written form, but I told the system in the description, return technical if it's a technical skill, and language if it's a language skill.
Nice.
And with that, I'm just uploading the document. So I select custom, I select resume, and I drag and drop this PDF document. So it's a 2-page document, so it might take a few more seconds to process. But in the end, exact same steps happen. And with this description, you notice that we have an additional means of providing more input to the system to make it more flexible and do exactly what you want to do with a document.
In the meantime, I can tell you why I like HR.
Okay, tell me.
My wife works in HR. Actually, I love HR.
Nice. Okay, and I hope your wife is watching us and is convinced now and will become a new customer. So maybe you want to look at the table part. We have 12 line items here.
Nice.
And you can see we got a couple of technical skills extracted from the education. You can see there's always a skill type mentioned. And maybe if we scroll down, we might also see some language skills. I can click on that, I navigate to the second page, and you can see that all these languages are also correctly extracted and classified as a language skill. So with that, I think you've seen the new amazing large language model features in document information extraction. Happy?
That's really impressive. But Tobias, I have one ultimate challenge for you, the final one.
Few minutes left, go for it, but it's really the last thing I'll do.
My son, Julian, he's almost 6 and he doesn't understand anything of this business talk that we are talking here. So he asked for a final evidence. So he even can explain to his friends at kindergarten what his dad is doing, with this whole AI buzz. So I got a nice document from him.
So it's like a Pokemon card or what?
Yeah, that's his favorite one, the Pikachu card, And then he wants us to prove that we can extract also information from a Pokemon card. So he wants to go for the name of the Pokemon, for the so-called Thunderbolt value, and the so-called V rule, because this Pokemon is of type V.
Okay. I mean, so it's not the everyday use case we're dealing with, and I hope the model knows more about Pokemon than I do, but let's go for it, right?
So the same procedure, right? I'm just
Same procedure, and in the meantime, I'll create a schema that I call Pokemon. Come on, custom. And I'll add the 3 fields.
It's underway.
In the meantime, I hope your son is watching us so that he's also convinced that we can really do that.
He's excited by seeing his dad on screen today. So greetings home.
So then you said Thunderbolt value.
Thunderbolt, exactly.
Thunderbolt value, and that is the numeric value that you
Exactly.
saw
That's
there,
a good
right?
number, yeah.
Okay, that might be interesting. And then v-rule, right?
V-rule.
Okay. I mean, I have no idea what this means. Doesn't seem to be a correct word, but yeah.
Yeah, let's,
Don't be disappointed if it fails.
Let's check the Gen AI. And Gen AI, we trust you can do it.
So you have sent me the picture, right? Then I can check my inbox.
Yeah, that should be there already.
Okay, so Pokemon, yep, there is one new email from you. Yeah, come on, that's the image. And let's see. I mean, the good thing here is that the system doesn't care if it's a regular business document or a Pokemon card. But let's see. I mean, the processes should still be the same. We extract the text. We ask the model to extract the information you requested. And
yeah, you don't know how many Pokemons are out there, you know.
Yeah, I actually really don't know.
It's going to be a good business case maybe for a new document type. We can maybe have a standard default schema to extract Pokemon cards.
Let's have a meeting next week to discuss that.
It's the first thing on Monday. I'm going to do the business case for that.
Sounds good. So, yeah, you took quite a big image, so it might take a few more seconds to process. Maybe in the meantime, we can also open.
System.
Yeah, I mean, we can already maybe highlight that this is something that is ready to be used. So all I just showed you here, you can try, and also our viewers can try.
Mm-hmm. So we basically want to announce that all those features are already available on the trial landscape for your testing.
Yeah, so
the one thing you have to do is you have to register on SAP BTP trial. That's the first thing you have to do. And then the only thing you have to do is go to your trial account. And there you hit the boosters and search for document information extraction and hit the start. Okay, and then what happens, everything is automatically done for you. Quota assignment, the creation of the instance, the UI subscription, so that you can also use the UI, obviously, and the role assignment. And then you hit the go to application, and then you are in the UI.
Yeah, and you end up in exactly the same application that I was showing you before. And I mean, so that you know that it's not being faked, I can also go here. So it's the same list of documents. Seems that the status of this one document just didn't refresh. So maybe we can click in either one.
Okay, let's check, because I need to
document.
provide the evidence to my son. Otherwise,
the weekend is messed up.
Otherwise, he's not going to talk to us anymore.
So then validate it.
Yeah,
Name
so
Pikachu V.
Yeah, the Pikachu V is correct.
Thunderbolt value 200.
Exactly where it should be.
And then v-rule, let me highlight it here because it's quite a long text, so it's a 2-line text. But do you think?
Yeah, it seems to be correct, like the full sentence, you know, and there's this black background. It seems to pick that up correctly. That's amazing.
Great. So, Julian, I hope you're convinced, and I hope you're proud of your father.
Yeah, maybe the next step he will do is going to be an internship at our department.
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, and then finally, there was one document already in the system. Let's have a look at that.
The last one.
And it's actually quite a boring one. So sorry to disappoint you with that.
But
we
it's
have
a QR code.
QR code here.
We can do also QR codes.
We can do QR codes, and you can see we have a nice URL extracted from that. And I do what I learned in all my security trainings. I just open it and see if it's correct or if it's kind of risky. And What do we have here, Tomasz?
Yeah, so what we have prepared for you, so once you have registered for the BTP trial, what you can do, you go there and there are those nice tutorials, step-by-step explained, what you need to do. We also prepared a couple of samples, some of them we showed today. So go for it, try it out for yourself, and you can also try it out with your own documents, as you just have seen with the Pokemon card.
Exactly, go for it, and I'm happy to receive any feedback and insights into what you are processing. But maybe with that, we can hand it over to the questions.
Yeah, let's go for QA.
Live Q&A.
Okay, so let me go for the first question by Ricardo. Is business entity recognition also moving forward with document information extraction generative AI?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So business entity recognition is another service in our portfolio for processing kind of text and extracting entity from text, so not from documents. And we're looking into combining this and offering the full capabilities of processing any kind of unstructured text or document with document information extraction and generative AI in the future. So it's a topic for the roadmap.
Great. Let's take the other one from Kevin, which is what languages are available for translation within document information extraction. So basically, that's the great benefit of having also Gen AI and large language models integrated into document information extraction, because now we can take also the full advantage of our business OCR engine, which is part of the service, which can process more than 40 languages today. So if you start using the premium edition of document information extraction, you can also leverage those languages that are available already there.
Yeah, and I see another very important and good question from Kiran. Is this already available for customers? And if so, please list the BTP service required to set up. Maybe Tomasz, you...
Yeah, definitely. So as I've mentioned before, the service is now available on BTP trial. So you can go there, you can activate the service the way we just explained. And if you want to do it again, you can also go to the exercises. We explained it step by step there. You hit the booster, basically, and the start button. And then after a few seconds, there is an instance and UI set up for you. We are also planning to GA this service soon, so that it can be also used for productive usage. So stay tuned, and you can find us also on the SAP community, where we inform you about the latest advancements.
Maybe speaking about products, I see another question that could go in your direction, Tomasz. Any plans on adding AI to central invoice management?
Yeah, that's a good one, actually, right? And Central Invoice Management is one of SAP's standard products that's already using document information extraction in an embedded way. So now Document Information Extraction Premium Edition will provide additional functionalities, and we are currently speaking also to our product management colleagues from Central Invoice Management to providing those additional functionalities as part of Central Invoice Management. I cannot tell anything about the roadmap here, right, and the timelines, but if you stick to our SAP community, then you'll get updated when we can provide more information about that.
Okay. Tomasz, maybe you can find any additional question.
Yeah, let's go to the one by Norbert. Is this also available on free tier, or when will it be?
Do you want to cover it?
Yeah, so currently, as I've mentioned before, it's going to be available on trial. So it's not going to be available under free tier, but definitely we will be looking into that to update the free tier service plan for you, so that you can also use that there.
Okay, maybe Tomasz, one more question. Maybe you can find one for me.
So the one by Abhishek. So can it detect schema automatically, or is that on the roadmap?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, because that might cover a lot of your end-to-end document workflow scenarios. So we're definitely looking into this. We're working on having document classification, which you could somehow treat as a schema classification, and planning on exposing this next year, early next year, hopefully. The interesting part, I think, comes when you combine this. So you have kind of sort of a workflow. So you classify the schema first, and then you pick the right schema to extract the information that you want. different one for birth certificates as for delivery note numbers. This is also something we're working on. We don't have any concrete roadmap for that, but I mean, we're also happy to discuss this. You feel free to reach out to us so that we can look with you into your scenarios.
Definitely. So I think we are at the end of the time today, and it was a pleasure to have you here, and I hope you got tuned up by our new features. So thank you very much. Stay safe. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.